People upload photos on the internet every day. Your photos could be used for something you know nothing about. Associate Law Professor Eric E. Johnson developed an easy way to allow people to connect with others who want to use their photos. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So before we get to the creation of this project, you have a law background. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I'm a law professor. I'm a lawyer. I was a lawyer first. I was a lawyer in Los Angeles. I worked for a law firm where I did litigation involving intellectual property, which means patents, trademarks, copyrights, things like that, and video game patents, and some work for the movie and television industry. And then after that, I worked in-house at Fox Cable Networks. And then after that, I went into academia and got this fantastic teaching job here at the law school, and doing what I love.
All right, that's great. I mean, this is kind of perfect for the project that you created.
Yeah.
So exactly what is Konomark?
So Konomark is a project that it allows people to connect with people who might want to use their copyrighted works. Let me first tell you what copyright is and what it does. Copyright law causes everything that you create, everything you write down, every picture you take, to be protected by copyright, so that you can sue someone if they use your photo. You don't have to register anything with the government. Immediately, as soon as you snap a picture, it's copyrighted. So what Konomark does is it's a way for you to put a little badge on your Flickr photos or your blog entries that says, you know, if these photos or these videos or this blog text might be useful to you on your blog or making your videos, send me an email. I'm generally willing to share it, and I'm casual about people asking permission to reuse my work.
Right, just kind of an opportunity for people to put their media on the internet and for others to use.
Exactly. I mean, so many of us are putting stuff on the internet. We're putting photos on the internet. We're putting all kinds of stuff on the internet. And oftentimes that can be useful to someone else who's doing they could use your photo to illustrate a blog post they're doing about something. And with the Konomark, you've invited them to ask you permission to reuse it.
So kind of getting to a personal level, what inspired you to create this project?
Well, I research intellectual property law, and I was trying to think, and I'm very interested in citizen media and people creating their own creative work product and distributing it. I was trying to think, what is the simplest thing that we could do that would help people building their own creative productions, whether it's videos or blogs or whatever. And it occurred to me, there's so many people out there who are creating stuff that would be useful to other people, that if there was a way to signal, hey, I will generally give you permission if you ask. If there was a way to communicate that could bring a lot of people together so that they could share those things, and people would be able to create with these building blocks of photos or sound effects or music or whatever to enhance their own media productions.
Yeah, just kind of a more comfortable, streamlined process. What were some challenges that you had when developing this project?
Well, I wanted to design some kind of test of the concept. So I wanted to put some pictures up on Flickr and put the Konomark on there and invite people to ask for permission. So I had to take a lot of photographs. So for the past 2-3 years, I've been taking lots of photographs. And actually I brought my camera, so I'm going to take some photographs of the control panels and the lights and the cameras, if you don't mind, afterwards. So I put these on Flickr and invited people, if they want to use it, to email me. And I now am getting 1 or 2 requests a week of people who want to use things. And it's fun. It's fun to find out what people want to use the photographs for. I have people using them on flyers and posters. Someone who wanted a photo to use in a slideshow they were doing for a cousin who's turning 90 or something like that about his life.
Great. So Konomark is kind of, a unique symbol. What is the meaning behind Konomark and the symbol that you use for it?
Sure. Well, I want to create something unique and identifiable. So Kono is Hawaiian for invite. So it's a mark that's inviting people to ask for permission. And the pineapple is an architectural motif that has long meant hospitality. Okay. And so I did the pineapple, I drew the pineapple, and I asked my 2-year-old, what does this look like? And he said, a pineapple. And I figured I had something that looked enough like a pineapple I could run with.
Right, it kind of draws the eye to it. Who is allowed to use the Konomark project?
Anybody. Anyone can put a Konomark on their work, and I'd encourage them to do that if they are generally open to sharing. It's not a commitment. When you put a Konomark on your work, it doesn't say that you are now committed to letting people use things for whatever they want. It just means you'll take it on a case-by-case basis.
Right, and you talked about people that were using your Konomark pictures. What were an example of that? We actually have one. It's a trolley cart picture that was used.
Yeah, one I think you have an example of there is a photograph I took in New Orleans, and this husband and wife team who are restaurant workers in New Orleans, and they have this pet project that's kind of their passion of creating a guidebook for New Orleans that's organized by trolley stop. And I don't know if you can see it there. It says written and ridden by the authors there. And so, they asked if they could use my picture on the cover, and I thought, that's cool. That's just really fun. And I don't care that they're not paying for that. They're, I'm sure, barely making money for, if Paramount Pictures comes and wants to use a photograph of mine in some new Tom Cruise movie, I'd gladly take their money for that. But if it's a small thing, I'm just happy for it to be useful to someone.
Great, thanks so much for coming on the show today to talk about the Konomark project.
Great, thanks for having me.